right? Like that's the thing, like that's one place you can give them credit. It's like they do well when the situation isn't the best. And they've been pushing a lot of people like Apollo Crews, Zelina's. I like how Wrestle Talk calls them Zelina Vega's gang of sexy wrestlers. Andrade, Austin
The
Theory.
The Heat and Austin Theory.
Yeah, Angel Garza. So
Angel Garza has been really doing well and has been impressing me.
Yeah.
Like I was impressed by Austin Theory by seeing him live at a house show, but he kind of comes off as generic.
Yeah, he comes off like he's like a generic wrestler you can make on like SVR 04 or something like that. That's what he feels like. Although I feel like he is somebody you can turn into something, like he can develop into something, but that's yet to be seen.
Like
Drew McIntyre.
He's something, but
yeah, he's something, but nothing yet. Yeah, like he doesn't have a gimmick. He has no personality. He's just a wrestler.
Then again, he was a replacement.
Right. He just came up all of a sudden, so they had nothing for him yet.
They're using the Profits, Bianca.
Right.
Like
and Drew McIntyre has been doing pretty well as champion for the first few weeks of his reign. He's been very dominant in matches. He's been doing well in promos. Like he's one of those champions that you are actually glad is on your TV screens. Like I'm not scoffing at the thought of seeing him on my TV screen. Like Lesnar, Goldberg. Like there's been so many champions in recent memory.
Actually, somebody that you want to see, like somebody, someone fresh, someone new, like what Kofi was last year.
Yeah, like he brings something different to the table. He's actually interesting. Like you want to see him wrestle. You want to see him talk because he's not boring. And yeah, he's been doing very well as champion. I really wish. I hate how like the crowd isn't there because he'd be getting so many good reactions. But yeah, I think that's gonna like speaking
Becky
of crowds.
Hasn't
yeah,
been doing anything as of late.
Yeah, Becky's a whole nother situation, man. There's talk of Becky potentially going to Hollywood. Like, come on, are you kidding me?
Like wrestling is one of her first. Is always going to be her first. She's not going to do anything.
Yeah, although
if they're going to do that, have her lose the title first and then ship her off.
Right. The thing is, she has always prepared acting as her backup career because there was a time Becky, when she was wrestling independently, she quit wrestling and she took acting classes. I think she even has like a degree or something in theater or something like that. And
she was even in one of the WWE movies.
Right, she was in one of those
even does her own
Marine movies, too. Yeah. And apparently she's been taking online acting classes, so she might be gearing up to return. Not return. I mean, I don't know if you can call Marine a full-fledged Hollywood movie, but she probably wants to do some more acting after her run with the championship winds down. Because I feel like even she might be getting tired of how much they're using her. And also,
she hasn't been on TV for the past few days because it's kind of pointless in the end. She doesn't have a challenger. And all she's been doing is just cutting promos. And her main challenge, which is Shayna, is in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, there's a rumor going around that she might be involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Not as a competitor, obviously, but like she might be preventing Shayna from winning the briefcase. She was talking about like in an interview how like Vince does something crazy or something like that during the match. So she teased like the spot with Vince jumping off the Titan Towers, but maybe that was like a hyperbole, like an exaggeration.
Like,
but
it's funny how Vince is at his age and yet still wants to do like crazy spots.
Man, that's just Vince, man. That's just Vince, man. He is crazy, man. He's been having a tough year, to be honest. Like, XFL gets canceled, WrestleMania gets canceled, his weekly shows get canceled. Then he fires wrestler upon wrestler because he realizes keeping them away from AEW was stupid, and all that.
Plus,
all
I
that.
think the commissioner for the XFL is suing him.
Yeah, lawsuits. Yeah, like a bunch of he's getting a lawsuit from the Oliver Luck, the XFL commissioner. He's getting a lawsuit from the WWE stockholders who said that they felt like Vince overhyped the Saudi relationship, even though there's been a lot of tensions there. Vince is having a horrible year right now. He is grumpy. He is unpredictable. Nobody wants to talk to Vince. If anybody goes near him, people are saying he's gone off the rails. He's grumpy old man right now. So for him, if he's involved in Money in the Bank, and if he is going to take a bump like that, it's probably Vince going, you know what, I'm just going to take matter into my own hands. Because if there's one thing, it's that Vince McMahon doesn't like losing control. Vince is a very controlling guy. And when he feels like his back is against the wall and, something like the virus or something like that is going to lose him money, take control away from him, he wants to get that control right back. He's a tough SOB like that. So yeah, but yeah, again, the point is Raw has been pretty good only because of these unconventional circumstances. But yeah, I hope people check it out sometimes. I know watching 3 hours of Raw is something that's kind of tough. I understand that. People probably just catch it on YouTube. The YouTube numbers are probably pretty good still. But I think, again, I don't want to get into this too much, but Raw would be so much better if it was only 2 hours. It would be like 2 hours of fun wrestling, fun segments. Right now, it feels like a lot of filler because of the limited roster. But yeah, there's my point.
At least they're not trying to do full matches.
Yeah, just short matches. But
like even full matches from years past. Like 205 Live has been doing that for the past few weeks now.
Oh yeah, like showing.
I don't follow 205, but they are doing like matches that help make one of the guys on the roster, and they do like replays of matches from the past.
Yeah, because they're probably not recording new content. Initially, that's what we thought.
The cruiserweight title is an NXT focused thing.
Yeah, for a while we thought like they might air old episodes of Raw, but nah, they have to air live episodes or taped episodes at the very least. All right, so another thing we definitely got to talk about is WWE 2K21 being canceled. And I got to be honest with everybody here. This is a very, very good thing. Although it's not the best thing, it's a good thing because of how horrible and trash WWE 2K20 turned out to be. It was straight up garbage. I mean, I've been saying for years, they need to change the system. They need to change the engine. Ukes goes away because they don't want to make work with 2K anymore. They go off to make their own wrestling game. Visual Concepts first year. They've been working on these games, but this was their first year ever. They were working by themselves on the game. And it turned out to be a complete disaster, which is understandable because I believe they only had about 6 months after Ukes left to make the game. That's a difficult task for any game developer to come in and make a triple A game from scratch within 6 months. And WWE 2K20 just shows you why you need time to develop these games, test them. And 2K just botched this game completely. It's unplayable. And the sales probably show that probably not a lot of people even bought the game. I mean, I heard a rumor that only 12,000 copies were sold. I'm not sure if that's true. It sounds about right, like seeing as to how trash the game really is. So there's WWE 2K20, absolute trash, hot garbage. And on top of all that, even if they wanted there to be a WWE 2K21 this year, they couldn't make it because they couldn't get the new scans. Because since WrestleMania season is the opportunity 2K Sports takes to scan all the wrestlers during the WrestleMania weekend, that was obviously not an option with the virus going around. So they didn't get to do that. And I think that was kind of like the final nail in the coffin. It was like, okay, let's just clean our hands off this. Let's just cancel 2K21. Hire a new VP. I heard they hired a new head of the 2K games for the WWE side. And they said, you know what? Let's just ride this out. 2 years development time for WWE 2K22, which is a really good thing. I hope they take the community feedback and they make a really good wrestling game, because that's honestly what we deserve. Like, the fan base is just tired of mediocre games, to be honest. Like, we want a complete wrestling game with all the modes from the past. We want the GM mode. We want complete freedom of backstage mode, like Here Comes the Pain. We want fun arcadey gameplay. We want modes like season mode, Road to WrestleMania. Like, we want that kind of complete package of a wrestling game, and I hope to deliver that. You don't know
how many people have been clamoring for something like GM mode,
right?
Or create a story.
Create a story is a big one. Like, how is it in 2020 when WWE themselves have been doing a brand split? You don't have a GM mode, and I don't want to hear people saying, well, universe mode is basically I don't want to hear that. That universe mode is not GM mode. Universe mode is boring. Yeah, sure, it has some elements that I would like to see in GM mode, but it doesn't have the competition of the GM mode, like to win GM of the year, to have a budget, to sign wrestlers to contracts, to talk to Vince and all that. Like, they don't have that. They need to bring that back. And NBA 2K has one of the best GM modes, so it's like, why can't you do the same for WWE when WWE in their daily programming puts so much emphasis on GMs? And yeah, basically, we just want the whole package, to be honest. And I hope we get that in 2K22. And Cam, what are your thoughts on WWE 2K22 being the next title and 2K21 being canceled?
Blessing in disguise. I knew right when they started promoting last year's game that this was going to be an off year. For starters, they changed up this was another year where they changed up the stage setups and the graphics and everything, much like 2K17 came out during the rebooted brand split. There's that. Roster reveal, no promotion or anything until around the end of July or August. I think I saw that it said that how many copies were sold for this game were, I think it said 249,000 for PlayStation and 114,000 plus for Xbox, and that was all for the first week, while 364,000 in the first week were sold for 2K19. So that's one sign where it said, okay, we need to scrap this game. Plus, we're not going to get the scans in because of the pandemic. Well, what they did replace it with was basically another All-Stars game. And to be honest, it should be a good idea that they're going to try and throw something out there to not only try and make some money back, but to also throw that out and then focus on the other game to come out. And if we're being honest, they need all the time in the world. They rushed that thing out and didn't even try to finish it. They didn't do any They did patch updates. They didn't even do much with it. The originals basically overtook all the usual DLC stuff that they do, like new moves or in the Rising Stars pack. That's why you don't really see people like Walter in the game.
Bro.
Or Io Shirai in the game.
Bro, 2K Originals has to be one of the worst game modes in wrestling history. What is the point of that being in a wrestling game that is supposed to be simulation? It's not even good,
You can do that with any other game. Like, you can do that with any other game. Just, if this game is supposed to be simulation, then it has to be simulation.
Yeah. Like, we're here
and probably
asking
just leave
for...
that to the creations.
Yeah, we're here asking for a very realistic mode like GM mode, and 2K here wants to give a zombie Braun Strowman. Like, nobody asked for this. Like, you know that meme, like, hey, nobody asked? Like, this is basically it. Nobody asked for this. Why are you guys giving this to us? We didn't ask for this, and nobody likes it. It should never be a thing in a wrestling game, ever. Nobody cares.
And again, there was like some things that I would have thought you can probably fix. You can probably keep that. Like, they had a weapons modifier thing where you're using kendo sticks as suckers, or opening up the Book of the Dead and taking their soul or something. Like, stupid stuff like that you can keep. But
yeah, I mean,
the other original stuff, get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like that feature, although it's like, it's one of those things where a broken clock is at least twice a day. So
at least twice
a day. Right, at least twice a day. Sorry, it's like 12:30 a.m. But yes, like, yeah, that's a good feature, I guess. Like, that's pretty cool, but it's like the one silver lining. Like, okay, I guess you can have that in future game, but completely overhaul the game, brand new engine, everything. Ukes is gone. You can do your own thing, and simplify the controls. Also, like, they need to completely overhaul the game. Like, take the engine, take the code, throw it out the garbage, write brand new code, brand new animation, brand new everything. You guys have 2 years. Do not mess this up. Even if they take 2 years and the game ends up being absolute trash, then I think 2K needs to sell the rights, because it's clear they don't care about wrestling games.
People want THQ back, but THQ aren't the ones that actually made the game. They published that. Ukes were the ones that actually made those games, like Legendary. And even THQ Nordic, they're fine. It's all about the developer and not the publisher.
Yeah. So hopefully Visual Concepts get their crap together and deliver as a good wrestling game. Oh, sorry, I meant a great wrestling game, because that's what we deserve.
Oh, and can we go off topic real quick about NBA 2K?
Yeah.
How many copies did that thing sell anyway? Probably
in the millions. It's in the millions.
Of course, it still makes money, even if it's not all the way finished and very buggy. People are too stupid to realize that. Some people are too dumb to realize that.
Yeah,
it's
apparently
not like the WWE where it's really niche and people can buy it. There's none where it's like really niche and only a few people buy it. It's the NBA where it's super mainstream and it's in the millions.
Yeah, and another thing they do is they do microtransactions very, very greedily, very aggressive microtransaction, where it's like even if you want a chance to be a good player in my career or have a good card in my team, you need to pay up at least $100 or $60, another $60 to $100, which is ridiculous. Like I hate that. Like if I buy a $60 game, I want my $60 worth. Like I don't want to pay another $20-$40 on top of it to get the complete game.
Unless it's like DLC, like with WWE.
Yeah, like you said, they probably made profit on that because they don't have any other alternative for NBA games, just like WWE games. But even WWE fans are too tired of 2K, where it's like we would rather go back and play old games like Here Comes the Pain or the old 2Ks like 2K19 or the SVR games rather than buying 2K20.
All I want is just for the 2K14 servers to be back up.
True.
Because that's pretty much the definitive last gen game.
Yeah, like honestly, even if they don't do WWE 2K Battlegrounds, I wouldn't mind if they just opened up the servers to old games like 2K14 and let us just play that for 2 years. Like I would be totally in for that because I want to do like the story creator,
and just make like
online
2020
matches.
versions of some of the guys and girls on the roster. Like there's 100 slots in that game. That'll keep me tight for years.
Right.
But the only downer to it is that a lot of the current moves aren't gonna be in it. Like the end of days isn't gonna be in the game, or Nakamura's moveset isn't gonna be in it.
I mean, heck, even if they wanted to, it's like they can animate that real quick with the finisher creator because you can create finishers. I know what a novel concept, what a revolutionary concept. You can create finishers in the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dang.
Yeah, you can. I think you can
literally forgot about create a finisher.
Yeah, you can create a finisher. You can create, I think, even a signature. I think you could create a signature.
Like there's top rope stuff. There's corner stuff.
Yeah, I think it was Here Comes the Pain where you can create like a taunt also and a walk, but that's not a 2K14. But you can do all that stuff in old games. I have no idea how that doesn't carry over to the new, more powerful consoles. It makes no sense. But yes, definitely looking forward to seeing what's next for 2K and hopefully they improve. All right, speaking of improve, AEW Dynamite just had their best episode according to a lot of people who watched. I didn't get to watch it live, unfortunately, but I did look up some results on Bleacher, and it looked like a pretty good episode. Cody and Darby had a really awesome match. I mean, Darby has been a rising star for a very, very long time, and he was kind of the heel in the match, and him and Cody worked very well. And I was kind of hoping Darby would win because I wanted to see him versus Archer, but nonetheless, I was happy with the match. And yeah, now it's gonna be Cody versus Lance Archer at Double or Nothing, I guess, kind of. Yes, their next pay-per-view. It should be a good match, to be honest. It should be a great match, probably. I kind of don't want to see Cody lose, but I think he would put over Lance Archer. Like, he's been so dominant. So I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be the first ever TNT champion. Let me think about this. Do we want Lance Archer to win the TNT championship, or do we want Cody to win it? What do you think?
I was thinking Darby would be the one, but no. But I don't really see Cody winning any titles yet. The only title I see him winning is world title. Unless they're trying to do a whole, I'm not going for the title belt, it's mainly going to be work my way up type thing. But Archer's probably going to be the one.
Yeah, I could see Archer probably winning, getting that big boost from a win versus Cody. And they kind of booked this long term a bit, because the first promo Jake had was against Cody, and obviously Jake the Snake is Archer's manager, so that's pretty cool in a way. Yeah, you know what? I should have seen them being in the final anyway. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that match. Yeah, and Inner Circle has been pretty fun to watch. They've been doing some skits and stuff. Sammy has been just an absolute star during these skits. And it kind of feels like Sammy might be breaking off from the group. They might be teasing kind of like a Randy Orton Evolution breakup kind of tease. I don't know. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from them. What do you think about that?
I'm going to be honest. This goes for like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT as well. I've barely been watching a bunch of stuff. Like I haven't I think last week all I watched was the NXT episode. No, not last week. This week I didn't watch anything. I think last week I just watched NXT and AEW. And 2 weeks ago I just watched Raw. It's just because of the pandemic and how they're all spinning their wheels right now. I would have something to say about these whole bubbly bunch skits, besides the fact that those TikTok skits are pretty stupid. But I don't really have anything to say.
Right, I understand. But yeah, it's good to see Dynamite thriving even without a crowd, and they've been making the best of the situation, just like WWE. You love to see it. So yeah.
And I'm glad that they're doing. I'm mixed. I have mixed feelings with this. Varney is like, okay, they're doing stuff. I'm glad that they're trying to keep going with this stuff, but Varney is like, just sit out like all the other people.
Right.
Even if you're not gonna get the title off of some people like Rob Gronkowski or other part-timer wrestlers. Just sit it out.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but in a way, it is nice to see something still going on with everything being canceled. That's just my opinion, but I do see where you're coming from. I totally get it.
Okay, so with Money in the Bank coming up, WWE has an idea for what they're willing to do for the pay-per-view. Instead of the usual Money in the Bank match to take place at the Performance Center, they're going to use WWE HQ in Connecticut for the Money in the Bank ladder match. As they've confirmed this on yesterday's SmackDown episode that both men and women's matches are going to be at the exact same time. It's more or less going to be a cinematic match, much like the matches at WrestleMania, but it's something that they're going to do that's really different. I mean, say what you will about the fact that they should just sit out for the rest of the pandemic, but they are flexing their creative muscles this time. So I wanted to get your thoughts, and I'm going to give my thoughts about it.
It's going to be definitely interesting to see both the women's and the men playing out at the same time. A lot of people are calling it like the Die Hard of WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw wrestlers sneaking through the vent, going up all the way to the top. I'm expecting some crazy spots. It's gonna be definitely like a fun, meme-worthy pay-per-view to watch. I mean, yikes! I heard somebody's gonna fall from the top of the tower. Like, oof! Like this sounds very fun, scary too. You don't know what to expect. It should be very chaotic.
Taped, so
yeah, it's already taped too.
Takes.
So yeah, they got multiple takes because of the taped, so it's not live. That's good, definitely good. Let's see. Is it too early for predictions? I think it's this Sunday. No, that's next Sunday, right? Money in the Bank is next Sunday, correct?
May 10th is Mother's Day, so either the 10th or the 17th.
I can search that with MITB 2020.
May 10th, so Mother's Day.
So that's next weekend, right? Right, yeah, that's next weekend. Okay. It's not
current matches are just the men and women's matches.
And the Seth and
Strowman, Wyatt.
Seth and McIntyre. Okay.
No, they've just confirmed the fatal 4-way for the tag titles. New Day, Miz and Morrison.
I'm gonna predict
House Party and Forgotten Sons and Bailey, Tamina Snuka.
Okay. The only thing I'm gonna predict real quick is the winners for the briefcase. For the women's, I think Asuka should win, and Asuka will probably win. Apparently, Vince is really high on her right now, which is great. I don't know why Vince wasn't before, but I'm glad she's over with Vince now. I think
she's put up just about all of the empty arena shows.
Right.
She's had a major part, and she looks like she's having fun up there. So that's why Vince is probably really high on her.
Right. And I hope this happens because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Asuka would become the first ever women's Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble winner. Is that correct?
Edge was
no. Well, I'm talking about just women's.
Oh, just women's.
Just women's. She would be the first woman to win a Royal Rumble and be a Money in the Bank.
And Charlotte. Yeah, she's the first person. She'll be the first woman to do that.
So she would be the first woman to win a Money in the Bank briefcase and be a Royal Rumble winner. So she should definitely win.
Other than that, there's either I can only see the Raw people winning. That's just Asuka, Shayna, and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I do want Lacey Evans to win just for someone to be something different.
Can you imagine one of the first public shows with a crowd is like SummerSlam and Asuka cashes in on Becky? Like, bro, the crowd would just erupt. That would be crazy during SummerSlam.
But that's my prediction. I want someone to, whoever wins it, I don't care who, to hold on to that briefcase for a long time, because that's been one of the things that has been hurting Money in the Bank for the past 2-3 years now.
I see what you're saying.
For that long.
Yes, nobody's holding it for that long, but like if somebody gets an opportunity to cash in, like at the most surprising moment, they should probably go for it. But yeah, Asuka should definitely win. As for men's, that's the more unpredictable one. In my personal opinion, I think Buddy Murphy, aka Just Murphy, now should have qualified for the match and should have won it, but he lost.
They took out Apollo Crews just for like an injury.
Yeah, there's a chance Apollo is the injury legit? No, it's not, right? It's a work, right? I think it's a work.
Not. It's not real.
Right, it's a work. So my prediction is Apollo comes back and wins the Money in the Bank contract, or
if not, Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Baron Corbin.
So here's a case where two people who haven't been champs before win the match, because Bryan's been to the top before. I mean, it'd be cool if he won twice, Money in the Bank twice, but it's like we've been there, done that.
Cool, like,
yeah.
Like, what else can he do?
Right, been there, done that. Rey Mysterio, I mean, he's a veteran. He can get different opportunities. He doesn't need the Money in the Bank.
He doesn't really need a world title.
Yeah, King Corbin hell no. Like, people would be outraged. Internet would just blow up. No.
I don't mind now Baron Corbin doing it. Like, last year, not so much. This year, with the King gimmick, why not? But then again, he already had a gimmick. Well, don't put another gimmick on him.
Right, Mr. Money in the Bank. Yeah, no, thank you. Otis, not really, because I think Dolph would probably cost him the match. I think.
Plus, too early.
Too early, yeah.
Plus, too early, and why would you put a belt on Otis? He's not gonna win a world title.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know that. Hey,
nice,
you don't know that.
He ain't winning no world titles.
Damn. But yes, that's my prediction for Money in the Bank. Alistair or Apollo. All right. So let's move on to part 2 of W.M.S.T podcast. So, like, as you guys know, there's been a lot of movies being canceled till next year, being moved around, being shifted. So let's talk about 2 movies that swapped dates. So Batman was supposed to release next year, June 25th, 2021. But because of production being halted, they have moved to October 1st, 2021, which is an amazing date for a Batman movie. Joker did well on that date, and there's a strong rumor going around that the movie was heavily based off of The Long Halloween. I mean, that might as well be the title of the movie, and it's in October. It's going to be the perfect October movie, if that's the case. And I think, yeah, that's a perfect date for a Batman movie, because Batman movies do tend to be more serious and definitely on the scarier side. I mean, if you watch BVS, that Batman, Ben Affleck Batman, was scary. Definitely could have been a horror movie type Batman. So, yeah, definitely October is a great date for a Batman movie. And so Venom was actually supposed to come out this year, October, but they, I think, just finished filming before the virus happened. And now they're still editing the movie, and it was supposed to come out October 2020 this year, but they've taken Batman's original release date, and they're going to release the movie now on June 25th, 2021. I think that's a pretty awesome date for Venom. Big blockbuster summer release. So, yeah, no complaints there. So, yeah, a little bit of swap right there. Cameron, your thoughts?
I don't like it's a shame that a lot of these movies are getting postponed, but I do like the fact that they moved the new Batman movie to the October release. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't know what they're gonna do with it. There hasn't been any ideas or anything to come out for it yet, but I hope that it's good. Same with the new Venom movie, but it's still, like, you get it. It sucks that a lot of these movies are being postponed or being moved to other dates, since 2020 wants to be a pain. Either way, I do hope that a lot of these movies do well.
Yeah, it's been tough with a lot of movies being canceled and stuff. I'm hoping to being able to watch Tenet this July and Wonder Woman in August. I'm hoping I can definitely watch those, because it's been hard not going to the movies, because I love doing that. And yeah, I just hope movie going returns as soon as possible.
Like, can y'all just stay home and stop being stupid, please?
Yeah, stay home until, it's safe. Just don't be stupid. Follow the guidelines. Follow social distancing. Like, don't be stupid. Follow the rules.
Like, don't be like Florida. Don't be like California, where you're opening beaches and people just wanna go outside. It's not safe yet.
Right? And hey, wash your hands,
You're gonna be the friggin' reason why we're gonna be stuck in here for another 2 months.
Yeah, and also wash your hands. Like, are you kidding me? Like
screw washing your hands. Wash your ass.
True, but I mean, how is basic hygiene not a thing? Like, why do you have to teach people that you should wash your hands and not touch your face? Like, is this stuff not like basic? Don't they teach this in elementary school and like in kindergarten? Like, why is this like?
Like, I shouldn't have to watch a commercial just teaching me to wash my friggin' hands.
I know, right? But yeah, theaters are rumored to be opening around June-ish, like middle of June. So yeah, we'll probably see the July and August movies that are supposed to release. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So here is part 3. I just wanted to quickly talk about, one of the biggest NFL free agency news was obviously Tom freaking Brady going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And with him, Gronk returned from his retirement to join him in Tampa Bay. So basically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have one of the best NFL teams this coming years and are huge contenders for the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, to be honest. They got Gronk, they got Brady, they got two of the best receivers, in my opinion.
Is Fitzpatrick still in there?
Fitzpatrick, I believe. I think he's with the Cardinals now. But Bucks have Mike Evans. He's great. And the other wide receiver, they have, I think his name is Chris Godwin. I'm pretty sure his name is Chris Godwin. Yep, Chris Godwin. I just searched it up just to make sure. Yeah, I like those two, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. They're going to be so great with Tom Brady. This team is stacked, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them play in 2020 for the NFL season. So yeah, Cam? What is your thoughts on Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well, I didn't expect Brady to go to Tampa Bay. I was expecting he had a choice to go to any team, but I didn't expect Tampa Bay. If we are out of quarantine and every team gets a chance to train and do preseason and the regular season comes in, they do have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. But my question is, what are the Patriots gonna do? They've lost their star player. This is probably the first time in years that they've been in a losing position like this.
Bro, you don't even gotta worry about the Patriots. While we're here playing checkers.
To hell with the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Belichick. While we're here playing checkers, he's playing chess, man. The thing is, they're probably gonna not sign a quarterback. Like, there was a rumor they might sign Cam Newton or somebody else, but it's like, no, it's not happening. They're gonna let the Brady's backup from last year, I think his name is like Jason Stidham. They're gonna let him play, and if he works out, he works out. There's no problem. But here's the thing: if he sucks, that's good also, because if they have the worst record or one of the worst records, they will have a top 5 or maybe even the first overall pick in next year's draft. And next year, Trevor Lawrence, who's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks to enter a draft class, is going to be available. So he might end up being drafted to Patriots. So it's like a win-win situation. And that's a possibility. What do you think about that?
Sounds like a good possibility. This is not a bad idea for them.
Yeah, definitely. That's why they didn't draft quarterback this year. Obviously they would have rather had like a Joe Burrow or Tua, but those guys were obviously not going to be available at the end of the first round. So they didn't care about getting Jordan Love or any other quarterback. They wanted a absolute stud like Trevor Lawrence or somebody like that, which they'll have a chance to get next year in the draft.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.